Hey, how's it going, everyone? I just want to do a recap of these air compressors. These are 10 air compressors I've reviewed. I've actually reviewed tons of these, actually more air compressors slash jump packs and these air compressors. But right now we're going to focus on these air compressors. I've reviewed them individually and I also reviewed them by testing them out on each tire. So I was able to do like a comparison test for a couple of these. There's only one I missed. I'll let you know which one. I just didn't have 3 other compressors to compare that weren't compressors slash jump packs like I have on this side. So we're going to focus on these and I'll do a review on those later. Those are air compressors slash jump packs and some are just jump packs. You can see the knuckle in the middle. But yeah, these things are absolutely awesome. These are all previous sponsors. I just had these laying around for a while and I was like, let me just compare all these. And I think a real true comparison test is a long-term test. You know, there's a guy out there that he just does like quick tests here and there. He does pretty good, like circuit tests and all kinds of stuff for like jump packs. And I think that's great. But really, I think a long-term mass test is the real true indicator of each product. So this is going to be like a highlight of those reviews by other people. Some of these, which I'll go through, have thousands of reviews. And I think that's the best test. Mass reviews is really, and unbiased. You know, I got these as a sponsor. I am going to be biased. But those reviews, you know, if you get so many people come together and review a product, whether they had it for a year, a couple years, that'll be a great review, I think, because you really get to test out, or some people really get to test out one individual product for a very long time. I think that's the best way to go. So I'm gonna be recapping not so much of how to use these, but like what the reviews of other people and what I thought myself. So, but yeah, let's take a look. The first one up is quite a bit of a list. So we got 10 right now. I'm losing my voice because I did this earlier and then I realized some of these companies. So if you look, if I say some like review, it has this many, and then you see one that has like less, sometimes they have additional products, hard cases, additional chargers or whatever, additional batteries. There's only one that has 2 batteries here. All the other ones are internal batteries. So just be aware of that. So, and the first runner up is by ENJOYVO, and it is a 4.8 rating with 14 reviews. So not too many reviews, but really good rating. So 4.8 is great. They're starting off as a good. And let's turn it on. I'll show you. And I'll be turning all these on and turning on the lights. Other videos, again, I'll show you how to use it, but it's pretty self-explanatory how to use it. So very nice, very good rating. All these also are above 4 stars. So if you're looking at this, none of these are below 4 stars, just to give you a heads up. Okay, the next one up is ROCGORLD, and it has a 4.7 star rating with 28 reviews. Let's take a look at this one. I really like this one because it's unique, different than others, whether like the little design there, and then also the toggle, you're able to scroll up and down really quick. And let's turn on that light. Some of these also are power banks. They have different lights too. And yeah, so they have slightly different things. They're all air compressors and they all have lights. That's one thing I found that's identical. So the next one up, it looks like they have a third-party company as well that's selling these. Might be like a broker or someone that has a lot of stock of these. Sometimes they use other third parties. But this is Dejunpiool. And right now we got a 4.1 with 47 reviews. This one also wins the longest hose, by the way. And let's turn it on. And let's turn on. This one has like a tiny light and it's like a pistol design, which is really cool. I like that one. That hose, you can, if you have a big truck with big tires and the valve stem is high up, it will definitely get to it. Okay, so the next one up, it is the Achansfam. Hopefully I'm saying that right. With a 4.5 review and or 4.5 star rating with 60 reviews. And that one, I've actually owned 3 of them. They have different models. This is the P10 model. I think their other models might have more reviews. That's another thing too. So I would look if they don't have like the most reviews. Sometimes these are new products or sometimes it's like a new model that's coming out. When this TV came out, I actually Yeah, they're discontinuing. It was $100. You know, it's a flat screen TV. I think it's 55-inch. And, you know, the ones that came in, I think they're like mid 300s. I've had this for 2 years, no issues. So sometimes, you know, things come and go. Let's turn on the light. Very nice light, very long hose, very cool, solid design. This is the only one that actually comes with a hard case. All the other ones are soft cases. So nice to know that. I'm not showing you guys the screen of all the ratings and prices because, or all that you're gonna be able to see, right? But because it changes. So I don't want people to say, well, you said it was this price and it's not that price. You know, they have sales going on. Sometimes, like I said, inventory changes, new models come in, new models leave. So that could happen as well. And then the next one up is JivDaw. And that one, it is a 4.6 star rating with 61 reviews. One more review than the previous one. And this little one is right here. These are nice because they're nice and small, smaller than my hand. Of course, if you have small hands, then probably the size of your hand. So very nice. Okay, so the next one up, we're gonna start going to a bigger size. So this one, it has a 4.4 star rating with 68 reviews. Let's turn that one on here. And let's turn on the light. You might have to press. Sometimes you press and hold. Sometimes you just press once. Very good rating. All these are great price. These are really well affordable. Sometimes you want the Rolls Royce, but you can afford the Honda Civics. So that's like another thing. When I used to work for Audi, I worked for Audi for a number of years. Sometimes people bought off price, and I bought a lot of things off based off price. I want the nicer one. I want the more expensive one that has a lot of reviews, but hey, the one I can afford is a third of the price or a fourth of the price. That's the thing too, right? So I don't think it's always about ratings and star ratings. Sometimes everyone makes great products. When I worked for Audi, we got to drive a lot of cars, so I got really a good chance to test out a lot of different platforms, and everyone makes great stuff nowadays. Look at TVs, how much better, especially the people that have had those brick size, you know, like fireplace style TVs that are huge back in the day, and nowadays it's like lighter, smaller, and very affordable now. So very nice. Okay, so the next one is KUXISA. Maybe I'm not saying that right, but this one, now you jump in as far as reviews. The rating, a 4.4 star rating with 1,072 rating. That's a lot. We're gonna start getting to some serious numbers here. And then let's turn on the light. There it is. Very nice. I like the design. It's very clean, small, thin design. And the next one up is a Nature Hero. It has a 4.6 star rating with 1,548 reviews. Huge amount of reviews. Very clean design. Very long hose with a, I really like that style hose where you just twist versus this, just personal preference. A little smaller light, that's fine. And the next one up, the Woowind. Now, out of all these, that's the one I leave in my glove compartment and I use the most. I've used it, I think they're one of my first sponsors, which is really nice. And I have had 2 or 3 of those. I've given people stuff, I've sold some, and so I've had multiple ones, more than this, probably maybe, yeah, around 20 if I didn't already say that. And so this one has a 4.2 star rating with 11,077 reviews. That is crazy. That's like stadium. Very nice. If you have any of these, by the way, please do a review and help us keep a long-term test. I wish I'm probably gonna be doing this consistently, so like showing what does everybody else say, you know? My opinion is also one person's opinion. I think you know, I work for BMW, I work for Porsche, I work for Audi, and then sometimes we get cars that don't come in for a lot of issues, but that person had that issue. Now that person thinks this car is junk and whatever, right? So it's just, you have to look at a whole group of data and Again, long-term test, long-term test. Okay, the last one, and this is the one I had to redo this whole video for because it sent me to one that didn't have this option, and then it was a smaller, I think it was just a bag that was like not included on that one, so, or something else. But this one has a 4.3 star rating, which is not the highest rating, but the reviews are 28,310 reviews. That is enormous. That's double from the last one. So the Airmoto, it doesn't have the most rated, top rated, but that's also because there's so many, you know? If you know, if you know. I'm changing stuff. I shouldn't be trying to turn on the light. There it is. And that's pretty much it, guys. You know, besides just having the compressors for like emergencies, road trips and stuff, I carry sealing. I mentioned that in almost all my videos. I mix 2 types of sealing, slime and then something jet. I forget the name all the time. But for emergencies, I've patched so many people's tires, family members, random strangers. So it's nice to have. Everything also compared to this is the Walmart brand, Everstart. And I've had that for years, 4 years. So I'm trying to do, well, I am doing a long-term test because that thing is amazing. I think only one time it did not jump start. If it was a car, truck, I can't remember. It's been so many years, right? And then another video, a separate video, I'll do a bunch of these. Unfortunately, I want to see if I can get a lot more of these. I've sold some and I got rid of some, gave some away to friends and family. These are air compressors / jump packs, except for this one. This one is also a vacuum, and that's like crazy to me. All these are in small little packages, and In-Law Stronger, the Naco is a really well-known jump pack, right? So it's nice to test out and try out different things, and I love doing that, especially when I work for Audi. I drove so many cars, off traction control too, by the way, and I got to really drive, have my own custom test drive. This is before where it was legal to have dealer plates, by the way, so it was a little bit more low-key. But yeah, thank you guys. Good luck. Whatever you get, I think it's just important to have for emergencies. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you and take care.